Hello everyone, welcome to Vista's Learning. Hope you all are doing well. This is Linda here and I am your EVS educator for class 4. If you are visiting our channel for the very first time, let me tell you something about Vista's Learning. Vista's Learning is an online platform that gives quality education for all of you. So, if you don't understand certain part of your subjects or your chapters, whatever it is, do review our video so that you will understand it more better, alright? And if you like our video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and also click on to that bell icon so that you do not miss any of our further videos. So children, let's begin with our today's class. In today's class, we're going to start with chapter 4. Okay, the name of the chapter is The Story of Amrita. The Story of Amrita. Alright, so let's move on to the story. Okay, so children, remember this is one of the true story. Okay, this is a true story from long ago. Almost 300 years ago. In a village called Kejadli lived Amrita. Okay, so as I told you, this, a story is based on a true story. Okay, it's a true story which is taken long years back, almost 300 years ago. Okay, so it was, taken in a village. There was a, person, there was a girl called Amrita. Okay, which village? Kejadli village. Okay, so let's read. Kejadli village is near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. The village got its name because of many Kejadi trees that grew there. Okay, so remember children, Kejadi is one place in Jodhpur, near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Okay, so this particular name was given because of many trees that actually grew there. There were a lot of trees and that's why this name actually derived from that. Okay, so the people of this village took great care of the plants, animals and trees like goats, deer, hares and peacocks roamed fearlessly there. So the people who lived in this village actually took very good care of everything around. The plants, the animals, the trees, different kinds of animals used to actually move around very fearlessly. They never used to fear and they used to move around very freely there. Okay, so that much people took care of those things. The people of the village remembered what the elders used to tell them. They used to say, Agar phir hain to tum hain. Plants and animals can survive without us, but we cannot survive without them. So these people, the village people, remembered their, adults or their, their long ancestors, the elders telling them a thought like, they told that plants and animals can actually survive without us, but we cannot survive without these plants, trees and animals. So that is what they actually remember of what the elders told them long back. Okay, let's move on. Amrita's friends. Okay, so let's look into Amrita's friends. Who are they? Amrita would get up early every morning and greet her friends, the trees. Who is Amrita's friend? Is it someone else like who we play around these days? No, it was trees. She used to wake up early in the morning, every morning wake up early and then she used to greet the friends, trees around her. She would choose a special tree for the day. She would put her arms around the tree trunk and whisper to the tree, Friend, you are strong and beautiful. You care for us. Thank you, tree. I love you very much. Give your strength to me also. So what she used to say, she used to greet them and say, she would actually choose one tree in a day. Okay, not many trees, but she just used to pick one tree each day. Okay, she used to pick up them, put her arms around them and whisper saying like, you are really beautiful, you are strong, you care for us, you really love us and thank you tree, we love you. She used to say some kind words to that particular tree that she chose a day. And she used to say, please give us your strength. The strength that you have, give it to us. Also, she used to tell, okay? Like Amrita, the other children also had their special trees. They would play for hours in the sheds of the trees. So even like Amrita, even other, other children in that village used to pick up one tree, like just like Amrita, and they used to play with them, hours and hours in a day, and get that shade from the trees. Let's move on. So we have question time, okay? I have certain questions that was given in your book. Is there a place near your house, a school, or along a roadside where trees have been planted? So think, is there any plants that is, or any trees that is actually planted around your house, or maybe the roadside, or somewhere around you, okay? So think and answer. Why were they planted there? So if at all you have some trees around you, why do you think it is planted in that particular place? Have you ever seen anyone taking care of the trees? Who does this? So next question is, have you ever seen someone who actually takes care of that particular tree that's planted there? Have you ever seen? And who does this? Do you know? Next question. Do you have, have you seen fruits on any of the trees, and who eats these trees? So if at all you see who takes care of them, do you see the fruits in any of these trees? And who eats them, who plucks them every day, who plucks them when it's grown, who eats them? Do you know? Answer yourself. Think and answer. Lalita feels that grass and small plants growing near a school wall have not been planted by anyone. Do you know of any place where grass, small plants or trees are growing on their own without being planted by anyone? So this girl Lalita actually feels that grasses or small plants that is actually growing around the school, nobody actually planted them, okay? It is growing by itself is what she is telling. So the poet is actually asking, do you actually know? Okay, do you actually know that, is there any plants or any trees or any grass that is around your house that it's growing by itself without anyone planting it or anyone, taking care of it? Does it grow on by itself? Think. Next, why do you feel they are growing on their own? How do you think they're growing? Because there are some trees, there are some plants that people, very frequently take care of them. They pour water, they give enough sunlight, they make sure they get enough air and everything else. But there are certain plants or certain grasses all grow by themselves. Why do you think? Okay, now let's move on to the next. Trees in danger. Let's see the trees in danger. Time went by. Amrita was now grown up. One day she went to greet her trees. She saw that there were some strangers in a village. So what happened now? Amrita, time passed by and Amrita has grown really big now, okay? So she wanted to go back to the village and greet, the trees that she actually planted, So she went back, and when she went, she saw some strangers in the village. Who are they? Let's see. They had axes with them. They said that the king had sent them to cut trees for wood. The wood was needed for building the king's palace. So when she actually inquired, these people told that, the king has sent us to cut down the trees for wood. And, the wood is actually needed for the building of king's palace. So they need them. So that's why we're cutting, is what those strangers told Amrita. Let's read. Amrita was shocked. She went to the tree that the men were about to cut. She put her arms around the tree, hugged it tightly. So when she actually knew that, that particular tree that's going to be cut off, she went very close to the tree and she really gave a very tight hug to the tree. If you see the picture, it shows how much desperately she's actually holding on to that tree. Let's read. The men shouted and threatened her, but Amrita did not let go of the tree. No matter how much those strangers started to threaten her, but she never, let go of the tree. She kept on holding it. The king's men had to follow his order. They had to cut the tree. On seeing this, Amrita's daughters and hundreds of villagers, old and young, hugged the tree to protect them. Many people, including Amrita and the daughters, died to save the trees. So what happened, when these men actually shouted and threatened her, but Amrita was so desperate to hold it. So what happened, the king had to really cut off this. So they took the axes and they went to cut the trees. Then what happened? Amrita, a daughter, she had daughters as well. So daughters, her friends, and all the villagers came together and they picked up one tree, and all of them, hugged each tree because they wanted to protect it and they didn't want those strangers to actually cut off those trees. So they all went and they just gave up their lives to save those trees. Imagine so much of love that they have for those trees, children. Just think. When the king heard of this, he could not believe that people gave up their life for trees. He visited the village himself. There, he learned about the village's respect for trees and animals. So what happened when king heard this news that people are giving up their lives to save the trees? He was really shocked. It really surprised him. And then he quickly visited the village to actually see what's happening. And then there he actually learned a lesson. He actually knew that, the people, the villagers had so much of respect for the trees and animals. That's a lesson that he actually learned. Do you remember what the elders of these villages used to say? So we just learned in our previously I just told you what the words that elders used to say and what they remembered. What did they say? What do the elders used to say? Elders used to say that, plants, animals, and trees can actually survive without us, but we cannot survive without these plants, animals, and trees, is what the elders told, and that is what they remembered. Okay, next. Do you think we could survive if there were no trees and no animals? Discuss this. Okay, so it says it's a question for you. Do you think that, we could be able to survive without these animals, plants, and trees? Children, we know that, we get so many benefits from the trees, from the animals. We know animals gives us so much, isn't it? They give us food, they give us meat, and we know that, plants give us so much medicines, and there are so much of benefits in these plants, and trees gives us oxygen. Remember, children, there are so many benefits and we cannot survive without three of this. All right. Okay, now let's see. The village is protected. The village's strong feelings for trees affected the king greatly. He ordered that from then on, no tree could be cut and no animal would be harmed in that area. So, what happened? The village's strong feelings for the tree affected the king. So he felt so much for the people and how much they respected the animals, the plants, and the thing that he ordered everyone that no one from then is going to ever touch the trees. Nobody is going to cut off. He ordered everybody. And even today, almost 300 years later, the people of this area called Bishnois continue to protect the plants and animals. Such a wonderful thing, isn't it, children? Even now, after 300 years, even now, if you go visit there, people in this area, the people in this area called Bishnois, they still continue to protect the plants and the animals. They continue to, have the legacy that the forefathers, elders, actually laid. Wow, it's amazing. Even though in the middle of the desert, this area is green and animals roam freely without fear. Even, this village is actually in the middle of the desert. Animals there move fearlessly. They just move around very fearlessly. They're not scared of anything. They are so fearlessly and freely moving. Isn't amazing, children? Isn't it? All right, children. So that is, it for today's class. So it was all about a true story about this little girl, Amrita, and the villagers. How beautifully they protected the plants, trees, and animals in the village. So that's how even we have to respect, the plants, the trees, and the animals. And we have to make sure we protect them. We need to give 100% to protect this. So children, if you do not understand any part, review the video again so that you will understand better. So in next class, we will begin with chapter 5. Until then, take care.